Welcome to the final video of the Utgard tutorial. In this episode, I'll show you how to decorate the interior with furniture, structural elements, and automated farms. I'll start by building the giant table and chairs in the main hall. Then I'll move down to the basement below, where the giant beds are and, of course, the forge. After that, I'll show you how I decorate the barracks and the upper quarters of the tower. And finally, I'll show you how I built the iron farm and creeper farm. I would say just use the parts you need. You might not want to copy this one for your own build. Depending on what you're going to use it for, you might want to change things up. And in general, I would say that the interior for the main hall and basement are the most important parts. But again, don't feel like you need to follow my instructions to a T. Use the timestamps for the relevant sections and enjoy building. When everything is said and done, I'll try and piece together a finished alternative version with everything we built throughout this tutorial. It will be available on my Patreon along with all of my builds. And to the people that support me there, thank you so much. You're the best. Okay, on to the tutorial itself. Before each room we are decorating, I'm going to show you the original, so you can see how the furniture blends in with the texturing on the floor and walls. This is particularly important in the main hall here and the forge below. But yeah, in general, I think texturing is a really good tool to bring the furniture to life. And especially when the interior is scaled up as you see here for the giant furniture, texturing really helps. So use these shots as inspiration. Okay, to make it easier, I put on night vision for dark areas, so it's easy to see what I'm actually building. Let's begin with the interior of the main hall, and this consists of the giant table and the giant chairs, and also a bit of added lighting around the floor, but we'll come to that. Okay, so the easiest way of doing this is to find the middle block of this section here and the middle of the main hall, and where those two meet, add 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then do the same for the middle of the next pillar here. Also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the middle of this section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the middle of this pillar here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. From this point, we'll start by adding the support from below. So simply add a pillar on each side like so. Well, not for this one, but for 4 of them, like so. And then up here add 1, 2, 3. And a slab at the end. And here just add 1 and 2 staircases. And do the same on this one here. And this one here. And on the last one here, instead of adding 3, just add 2 here and 1 there, and then 3 staircases. Because if you do this on this side, it should be the same, and kind of they should meet in the middle like so. And for everything else on the outside, just repeat those here like so. And from here, I think the easiest thing to do is to just add the frame of the table above. So just add these blocks here on top. And in between. like so. And from here, we just need to add slabs all around, but at these places, like the endpoints here, just add staircases instead. But for everything else, you can add slabs instead. So here, add a staircase, and for the rest, slabs. Okay, so before adding everything on the table, we'll make the chairs, and those are basically placed at the exact place that these crosses here are placed. So each stair aligns with one of these sections. So here, and here, and here, and here on both sides. Okay, so from this point here, just go down and add 2 blocks with a gap of 3 in between, and they should align here, the outside of the table. And do the same over here, just add 3 blocks, a gap of 3 blocks in between, and then the rest should be able to be discerned by just watching what I'm doing here. Fairly straightforward. So for lighting, I use shroom lights, but you can use whatever you want. It could be something else. Like so. And now repeat this for both sides, and there should be 4 on each side. Like so. And as I've told you many times throughout this series, the kind of the magic of the build, or the character of the build, comes from the texturing and the kind of the weatheredness and the cracks and everything that give this the structure is it's kind of ancient feel to it. And what you add, I mean, of course, these chairs and the table itself, they do add a lot of, but how you specifically decorate it, I mean, you could kind of expand on what I'm doing. It's fairly simple. In general, I just added some cauldrons here. So for each seat, I added like this outline here of trapdoors, and then a cauldron in the middle with some water that could kind of be a soup or something like that. And then just do this for all the others, like so. And then, I mean, I added a bit of variation to some of them, but I mean, in the end, it's yeah, it's more about what you feel like you think is necessary. I think a lot of this is actually, I placed this one here. I didn't need to. like so, to give this effect here. And for kind of small beer kegs or something to that effect, you can just place a couple of these here. Maybe add some flower pots here to catch the beer, and then you can just place a couple of these around the table. I just added them in a couple of places. No real system, but I tried to kind of align them. But other than that, I just, yeah. And for this one here, these are just smaller cauldrons. Here you can just add a campfire below and a cauldron. And then for, yeah, this cauldron here, just add the same design for these two crosses here and here. And now for the lighting on the floor, I basically added a couple of these trapdoors with lighting underneath, nothing special. Here I just added the one that aligned with the middle of this pillar, and then I had my, I used the middle of the room here, and basically just add a block beneath here. And I mean, you could use a lantern. You could also use something else. I mean, there are several ways of doing this. You could also, another way of doing it is to place like a light block and then add a carpet on top. I mean, I just like the idea of this kind of vent almost, or this thing at the bottom. But yeah, it's up to you. So over here, I'll just show you where all of these are placed. So the same design here. One is here in the middle, and the other one aligns with that one and is in the middle of this room here. Then we have one here also in the middle, and this one aligns with this one here. And then same for these here. And here too. And finally one here aligned with this one and aligned with the middle here. Like so. Okay, now on to the basement. So one thing you probably noticed is that if you wanted to add these lights above, you kind of need a block down here. And if you want to, you could also, because we used these hoppers instead for lighting, you could also add hoppers here just for yeah, to add a bit of lighting and to kind of account for the light block above, or the lantern above. And you can do this for these 4 here, basically. And in here, it's only this one here. So this is up to you. You can add one for each, or whatever you feel like. So something like this you could do, and then add lanterns that, I mean, they could align with those here we already made, but this part isn't that important. For this one down here, I wouldn't add anything yet, because we need this one for carrying yeah, we need this one at a later point. I'll show you when. So just leave this be. And these over here, I would actually make them shorter, because here we have the bunk beds for the giants and they need some space. So I would just add it, like, I mean, 5 chains here should be fine, but it's up to you. Okay, let's start with the bunk beds. So for those, just go to any of these pillars. Just start with this one maybe. And then with a gap of 3, add 2. So 1, 2, 3. And then add at the bottom one. So you already have 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I mean, this one should align with the middle of this window here. Just continue this around and have it meet on this side here, like so. And from here, well, just add this one here. So from here, add another layer here, just inside. And just continue this all the way. And as I showed you in the intro, this part here is, I mean, as with everything else, it benefits from texturing. So when I'm showing you all of this, it can look a little bit dull, I think, because it is so simple in many ways. So the texturing really kind of adds the right kind of character to each element. Oops. Oh. Come on. Okay. And then at the top, just make upside down staircases all the way around. Okay, and now for the bed itself, I mean, I simply added spruce here and then layered it with spruce slabs and trapdoors. So for now, I'll just add the lighting that should be enough to kind of light everything up. Something like this. And then you can just close this off. I mean, in the end, some of this probably doesn't need to be added, because if I add, when I add a layer on top, you could technically just remove what's below, but I'm just showing you the way it's easiest to kind of understand, and then you can, yeah, you can do what you think or what you feel like. So in general, I just placed a lot of slabs in the middle here. I'm just making the outline, and then yeah, you can do something similar. And this is fairly random. So I didn't really do anything that was, the same for each of them. I would do this differently for all of the beds. The only thing you need to do is to not add a slab on top of this one. I believe this will remove the lighting from underneath, so just have trapdoors on top of those. And other than that, just go crazy here with the trapdoors, and then look at the texturing section I showed you to kind of make cracks here and make it more interesting to look at this this bed in general. But yeah, this is kind of the main gist of it. And when you're doing the next ones, just use this principle, but don't. I mean, it's nice to have a bit of kind of a variation between them. Okay, so from here we need to add the one above. So add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, basically, yeah. And then we just need to make the same bed one more time. And then I'll just show you the cross section, just to show you how it is. So I'll show you cross section from this part here. So you have this one, then you have the one underneath, offset by 1 block, the same for this one, and then you have the stack is below and the stack is above. So it's the same profile as this one. It's actually the exact same bed. So just continue this all the way around. Now at the bottom, simply close this off. And now just continue this on these two here, like so. And here on the other side, we can add the giant axis. And what I did was from 2 below, just remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 here. And so we need to add wall blocks here, but I'll just remove this first just to show you. Then remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 2 above that. So that's just 1 gap here and 2 gaps here. And from above, I simply added a kind of a chain with lanterns all the way down. So just to have something to put the chain on, or the chains on. This should be fine. And now we boxed ourselves in. Okay, let's do this. So from here, just add wall blocks all the way up. And for these 2 parts, well, actually, it's probably easiest to start from the bottom. So from one outside here, just add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and remove the bottom 4. And then this should be fine to just add the rest. And this should align here with this block here. Here you can use several different kinds of blocks. I used stone, just normal stone. And then you can use, you can use andesite. You can also mix in a bit of cobblestone walls, but I'll just show you here with andesite walls. And then on the top, just add a single one there. And there you have the main axe. Okay, and now repeat this for the 2 other pillars here, like so. And just for now, let's just add the lighting in the floor. And here I simply used this block here, I just placed blocks again, the middle part here, and for the middle part of the pillar, and in between, just all the way over to the other side. And here I did the same, so it matches this one and it matches this one here. So yeah, do that, and then over here you can do the same, just in between this one here and in the middle part of this section here, which aligns with this one, and then do it here. But for the rest, we need to build something here and here, so don't do anything there. And in between, we also need to build something, so just let that be. And here you can just either use carpets. So the reason why I didn't do it the other way around with the kind of the trapdoors, you could do that too. This is up to you. I'm just showing you another way of doing it, so you can decide which one works. And if everything is heavily textured here, then then it might even be blend better in with the carpets. It will blend in with all the different types of blocks, and you could use different types of color carpets for the different kinds of that matches whatever kind of matches the blocks besides it. So that's up to you. Okay. Oh, just one more. Let's add some here in between. So this one should match the one on the other side. And over there, and just, this one here. Okay. And now for the middle part here, for these 3, they should more or less be the same. So I'm just showing you one, and then I'll show you how they might be a bit different. Not by much. Okay. From here, just add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this part, what I did here, you can just do this for both of these. And actually, you can do the same over here. The only kind of difference is that this will only have half of it, or at least the middle part of it, and then so it will be from basically from the middle and over here. So these 3 blocks, this row of blocks won't be on the other side because then we have this wall here. So it will be like a mirrored version, basically. Like so here, it should look like this, and the same here. And over here, it should look like this. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So I'll just go through all of this, what needs to be done. I mean, a lot of these are, again, suggestions. You don't have to follow this in the exact same way as I did here. So this part here, you could say it's a bit, I mean, it's not that important. That's just how I made it. So I placed a redstone block and a lamp here. But I mean, it's kind of, you could say that it's a bit of an inefficient way to kind of add what you want, which is just some lighting here for the table. So, I mean, if you want to use like any lighting, form of lighting, like a lantern or anything else, you can just do that. I'm just showing you what I did for the original, and then you can change it up if you want to. And here, I just added a bit of kind of practical stuff. I believe I used, did I use, no, I think I used this one here. And this one you can just add over here, and for this one here, and this one here. Like so. And then for the weapons are placed here, I'll just add them, and then you can just, I mean, take what you want from it and use for your own build. It doesn't have to be exactly like I did here, but I'm just showing you, and then you can just do what you feel like. So here I'm just showing you how to kind of, you can add a bit of variation in the blocks if you want to. I think that looks pretty nice. It like so. Over here, maybe remove these 2 blocks here, because then you have room for the weapons to kind of be here. And also, I'm sure there are better designs out there, so you can always add something that has this kind of, I mean, so one of the inspirations I think is most important to kind of mention here, even though it wasn't a big kind of reference throughout the build. It's just that the kind of dwarven architecture from something like the Lord of the Rings was quite, I mean, in the back of my mind in some ways, to kind of have this kind of, you could say, more rough design, that everything is much more kind of bulky and, yeah, I would say bulky. It's probably a good way of describing it. And I just create 3 of those here. So 1 here, here, and here. And we can add a bit of variation if you want to, just to not have it be the exact same. Okay. And now, so here we're going to create like a giant anvil, and here a forge. And in between, I have made this. So I've redesigned this a bit from the original video. I think this is a bit more manageable, and because in the original I had this giant, well, I had this giant forge, just lava forge thing, where you would just need to kind of add so many buckets of lava just to have it, yeah, be like that. So here I created something a little bit more manageable. But yeah, let's start with the anvil here. So just in the middle of this section and in the middle here, just create a square, but just leave the middle blocks out. Just like so. and hover here. Do this for all the corners, like so. So I'm just creating this, and then we can just add a bit of variation afterwards. So for this part here, I actually did kind of switch between these different variations of both andesite and normal stone, and I mean, it's one of those things that you can kind of change up the way you feel like it. And I'm just showing you now because I haven't textured. I've showed you so many times how everything else is textured, and here I can just show you kind of a bit of a how I did it for this one. But I mean, it's the design is fairly simple. There's not much to it in general. For this one, just to add a bit more lighting, for this one I might even extend this down further, just to add that extra bit of light for the animal. Okay, and then for the gate here that can be shut off, basically this one, okay, this one is actually fairly straightforward. The thing I did was to create this kind of this hoisting mechanism. And from this block here, the slab here, just add a row of slabs here. And a normal row of blocks here. And then add 3 blocks all the way across. And then just add a couple of like so. And now for the forge itself, you need to create like a square like before, just bigger. So what I'm doing here is to create 5 blocks on each side, and then just 1 block in the corners here. And this one should be centered on this side and centered on this side. Yeah, so basically if you place the block in the middle, the row blocks over there would be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. The 4th block would be that block. And for the rest, simply create a layer here. And then 1 in the middle. And just 1 bucket of lava here. Like so. Just add a stack is there. Remove the 3. And just follow my lead. This should be fairly easy. Now add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks. And yeah, just do the same for all the others. And to kind of make it a little bit more interesting, I use these polished, chiseled tough blocks, tough bricks. Just add 1 above here. And 1 above here. And here actually you don't need, yeah, well, you can just have it stop there. Okay. And from here, just add a row of these blocks all the way over to here. Add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. From the other side, do the same all the way over to meet the wall, and add 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks here because it's going this way. So just have it there. Okay. For the bottom, just add a row of blocks here. Well, actually, use the same ones here again, as I did. And some stairs. Now we can add a bit of kind of smoke to it. I think one way of doing it is to add. So what I did actually was adding these bonfires a couple of places here, like so, and then, well, trapdoors. And yeah, let's just finish this part here. So for the middle part, or for the outer parts here, just add 1 block above here. And the same height here. And like so. And then just continue this all the way. And I would actually just remove those so it looks like it kind of goes into the to the chimney itself. And here at the bottom you can actually do the same. Just add a couple of campfires. Have this, and I mean at this point you could also have this open, but what I did, I simply, you can add one here too. I simply closed the other parts off and then had my trapdoors here, like so. And finally, here we can add the chain I mentioned earlier. Oh, that's not a chain. Like so, to support it. And yeah, it probably doesn't look like much here, but I think, again, with some texturing, I think this actually works quite well. You can just remove these actually, so it's a bit more open. Could also remove this one, but yeah, I don't know. And yeah, this is basically it for this room. And you can just take what you find interesting and useful from this, and then you can expand upon it, or yeah, do whatever you kind of feel like is necessary. Okay, on to the barracks. just find the window here and place a block here that aligns with the window and aligns with the middle block here. And just have this all over to the other side, the same window on this side. And now for every second, just add a block. So I'm just making armor stands here, or kind of a place to add armor stands. Just a simple setup. Like so, and yeah, you can add whatever you want to. I'm just adding a bit of random stuff just to illustrate. More lighting here could be useful. Okay. Something like this for the kitchen. And you can also add item frames to be used as plates with some food on it. And just repeat the same over on the other side. It doesn't have to be exactly the same in terms of what you put on the table, but yeah, something similar. Like so. Okay, and for this part over here, this is more of the forge for the blacksmith. So the structure of this kind of design here is the same as on the other side. This is just a bit more geared towards the blacksmith type of shop. And maybe for this one here, instead of having it connected here, we have it a bit more open. Yeah, and the rest of it is mostly just weapons that are kind of laying around. So I'm just making a couple of these maces and hammers and stuff like that. And maybe for the wall here, we can add kind of design that for a sword that's more kind of survival friendly. The thing is with these kind of iron bars, they connect to some blocks and to others they don't. So fences they don't connect to. So and yeah, we can kind of use this to our advantage. Okay, and now just repeat this part for the other two. Like so. And like before, we can add a bit of extra lighting here if we want to. Okay. This is more or less it for the first floor. And the second floor, where they sleep, we basically just need to add a lot of bunk beds and stuff like that. So for all of these niches here, I would simply place some beds here, and then some above. And I forgot a bit here, of course, for some reason. Okay. And now simply repeat this for all the other niches here. So all of these you see here, all the way around. Like so. And the rest is simply shelves and different kinds of tables and stuff. Nothing crazy. Sometimes it can add a bit to kind of mix up these wall types, have a bit of a like contrast between them. And in between these parts here you can simply add some chests. So for this part here, where there aren't any chimneys, we'll come back to those, but those will be shelf storage. So I'm not placing anything in these frames. Those are just for kind of weapons and stuff. And then for this part here, maybe I can't place the doors while... Okay. You know what? Let's just do this. And... nice. Oh, look. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Finally. And basically the same over here. Like so. And the same over here as we just did here. Like so. And here we just create a table again. Just a variant of what we just made before. Oh, come on. What's happening, guys? Something like this. And then finally, down here we can add some extra beds. So just basically follow the same principle as before. And maybe a couple of frames again, like so. And basically just recreate this over there. Okay. And this is basically it for this building here, the barracks. Okay, before we come to the iron farm and the creeper farm, I think it's best to just do the normal furniture and decorations, and then we'll get to the automated farms at the end of the video. So as it looks right now, the room is fairly plain, and as with everything else with this build, just adding a lot of texturing and cracks and weatheredness adds a lot. But yeah, one of the uses I find would be kind of appropriate here is to add a village trader. I had that in the original upstairs, but I think here it's actually, it makes sense to have it here in the open where you can kind of see it from the courtyard. And I just made a simple design here that I think works quite well. And I think it's nice that when you come up here in the courtyard, you can see them at the end. So you're out here and then you can see them at the end of the wall. I think that's a nice touch. And I mean, you could add more. You could add a row of them here. But I mean, visually, I like the idea of just having them here. And of course, I'm not sure how you would bring them up here. Even bring them up here. I think there are ways of doing it. I mean, people have done more extreme things, right? But yeah, I made this really, well, actually I used these instead, but I made it really simple. I think sometimes simple is actually fine. I think this needs to be really that advanced. Okay, I could have done this before. Okay, let's just do it from here, and then this might be easier. But I'm simply placing a wall block in between so the villagers can't escape and they can't jump up. So they're just standing there. Okay, and now we simply add the lecterns. Like so. Oh, we just missed one of the lanterns. Okay. Yes. That's basically it. Okay. So here's the deal. I initially, when creating this build, I didn't create interiors for all of these. I actually concentrated on the 3 at the top, and that's what I'm going to do again. In general, as you have seen from the earlier videos with the interior, I did change the interior a bit, mostly in terms of the construction. But yeah, you could do something else if you wanted to. I mean, I think this could be a cool kind of base for multiple players. I mean, this is totally up to you. Okay, so starting from here, I'll just go up and start from the top. So I originally made this opening here on the left, but for some of these designs, it's actually more beneficial to have it in the middle as just one door. And this is more of a kind of a kitchen area, and the design is fairly straightforward. And in general, for these interiors, I think adding a bit of cobweb, spiderweb works well. So you need to remove the 3 blocks in the middle and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. There's one kind of row of blocks here, and then replacing the portal inside. So I obviously made all this hollow, so this is more of a preference thing. But yeah, it's just how it's designed at this point. Okay. And for the lacing here, we can just move this up just 1 block. Actually, just to be sure that I can place the door. That's a problem we had before, right? And just build the same over here, like so. And then finally up here, just add a bit of decorations and some clutter. And for a cleaner look, you could just add some full blocks here instead. Okay, so this is more or less it. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. So this one will be more of a library. Just a little simple design, nothing special. And like with everything else, feel free to change it up and add your own designs if you want to. Okay, and here we'll add the enchantment table. Okay, so let's try this. For now, I'll just leave them like this without any books, just to make it easier. But the way I did it in my version of the build, I basically just added kind of different. Yeah, I mean, I didn't add books to all of them. I think it looks better if it's kind of a bit of random. Something like this will basically be what you can do for all of them, or maybe you even leave some of them entirely empty. Gonna do the exact same thing over here. Okay, we'll come to this part up here because we're gonna add kind of a small bridge up here. That's actually a new design that I added for this version of the build. And for this one here, I think it looks better if you just move this up. Like so. And as with the room above, I would move this door to the middle here. Like so. And yeah, up here I'll just add a railing. We only need the top ones. I'm just doing this to make it easier to place. And this part can leave this open, just Okay, and now we open up to here. I couldn't help myself just adding these. Oh, we could actually add one here too. Okay, yeah, man. This is basically it for this one here. And I mean, it looks a little bit lean in terms of how much I added. And I would say again, it does help by if you add texture, gives it a bit more character. And for the next one, the final one, and here we'll place some of the crops and yeah, basically things that grow in general and things you can use for the brewery over there. But here, yeah, we'll just make a bit of a storage area here. And again, we could also kind of add the dark oak ones just to kind of give a bit of contrast to this here. I think that actually works quite well to kind of mix it up a bit. Others would probably add a bit more flair to it. Just keep 2 open here for some water. Okay. I mean, it's really standard what I'm making here, so feel free to elaborate and make it even more epic. So for the original, I added pumpkins over here and melons over there. I don't really know if it fits with kind of the amount of space. You can always add something else in the gaps in between. So up here, I actually did a mixture of, so this is mostly for decoration, but I added a mixture of grass and moss. And you could add some of those underneath, but I'm not sure how it works when it comes to the growth of melons and pumpkins. They don't need a block on top, but I don't know if there's anything that would impede them from growing. We'll just leave this as it is for now. And over here, I just added a really simple setup with some cauldrons and for water, so you have something for when brewing potions. Fairly simple. And finally, this room over here, I also changed up the placement of the door. I mean, again, this depends on what you're putting inside, but for the three designs I came up with, I think, yeah, it worked quite well just having it in the middle centered. So here, because it's dark, I thought it was a good place to have some nether warts. And again, the rod here can be moved up a bit. like so. Yeah, technically you probably need a staircase more here or something. I'll leave that to you. But I kind of like the kind of layered design of this. And for the rest of the rooms, I'll leave that to you. I think you can come up with a lot of ideas to what to add here. I mean, there are many things that it could be, as I mentioned earlier. You could add, like, if you're playing together on a server or something and use this build, this could be a nice place to have kind of each of your rooms, maybe. Yeah. Okay, and now on to the two final things we're going to do in this tutorial series, and this is adding the iron farm and the creeper farm. And I mean, as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to do this. This is up to you. This is just what I made for the original build, and I thought it was kind of a good addition to have it be a workable kind of base for like a survival playthrough of sorts. So yeah, I'll just show you what I did. And honestly, I can't remember exactly which videos I used for these designs. I'll try to link the original ones if I can find them. The part here I'm gonna show you is just the entrance room. So here, from this point, just add 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. And just for reference, I'll place the first chest here. And here just add 1, 2, 3, 4, and do this for all of these. Like so, and the same on the other side. Like so, and here I would just add, so I'm just showing you where the wall is. So here you can just add this wall all the way up on both sides. And then here you can also add walls on both sides. Like so. Same on the other side. Okay, and just close up the top too. And for this part here, just add a row of blocks here and a row of staircases here. Okay, so this is basically the room we're working with. So I'm just gonna place all that I placed in the original, some lighting, for instance. And I think I added a couple of chests here. Okay, and now on to the chests. So what you're going to do is here, just add 2 at the bottoms like so. You need to add a row of chests here, like so. Like so. Okay, I'll just place this here and go around. You need to have the central placement of the chest that has to be in line. So the center, just to show you, the center is here, 2 blocks from this one. So this is the center of the structure in general. So and from here we need to place, so we need to have a minecart go here. And so I'll just close this off like so. And here you basically just need to have 1 block at the end that stops the minecart. And just build the same on the other side. Just a horseshoe like so. And add this one here. And then we need hoppers. We need hoppers all the way around, and just so they run into the chests. And then we need to add powered rails here and normal rails here. Oh, like so. And a minecart. And this minecart should just run back and forth like so. Okay. Then we need a hopper on top of this one here. And a chest on top. Okay, so what I did was I used slabs up here, so nothing spawns in here. And I mean, we can do this first, or we can add the beds first. So I'll just add the, you know what, I'll just add a layer underneath so it's easier to place the beds in general. So I just add a layer here. So this, you need to stop 1 block before this wall. Like so. And then we just need to add, so we have already 1 layer besides the middle one. So just add 2 more. Like so. And from here we can add the beds. Okay. And at the end here, I'm just adding some fletching tables. And some torches, just 1 on each. And then you need to place slabs for everything else, or most of everything else. So in the original, I just used, I think I used smooth stone slabs just to have something else but it doesn't matter, it's just a cosmetics thing. Just be sure that it's the same level as the beds. Just, I mean, yeah, the bottom half, so the spawn proofing will work. I'll just fill everything out here, like so. And I also added some lighting around here. This is, I don't know how much you need. Probably not this much, but this is just what I did. And then we need to go to one of the corners. So the corner I chose was the one over here. And here you can simply remove the blocks I'm removing here. And add a square here, and then you need to create like a... So the blocks I'm using here, the type of blocks, that doesn't matter. This is just what I used. But this is basically for the zombie. Okay, so the water the zombie is going to be in will be about here. So just add one more layer. And then we need some soul sand at the bottom. And then just fill this with water. I'm not going to show you how to get the zombie inside here. This is, yeah, I'll leave that to you. But yeah, the zombie needs to go in here. And yeah, I would just open one of the windows and get them inside this way. And then after that, you need to, so you need to place a layer of blocks up here. So simply place a layer just above the windows here, around the area, but just leave one block in the middle empty. And then over here you can just add a layer of slabs underneath just for this part here, so he stays there. And then we need 2 hoppers here, like so. And from up here we need to add some blocks, so just add a layer of blocks all around the outside here. And then a row of slabs all the way around too, like so. Then just add 1 block in each corner here. So what I would do is just to place a campfire there. And then you need to place, okay, let's see, we need to place a wall block here. So just with a gap of 1 block here. And then we need to add signs all the way around. Let's see, okay, so we need to place signs on top here. And now you should be able to place a block of lava inside. Like so. And if you put a block of water here and here, here and here, it will only cover this part here. So if you put one in the middle, it will cover most of it, but not all. Just take a look here. It will cover most of it, but not these blocks here. So what I think works is just to place one on each side here. So 3 basically in the middle here. Like so. Okay. And now simply cover everything up here with slabs. Like so. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay. And onto the creeper farm. So like before, we'll start from downstairs here, and then I'll show you everything from the inside, how everything works. So I would start by placing just a couple blocks here. So just from here, just continue this part here and add 3 on top, and add 3 on top here. And then on the inside, just add a row of staircases. And then just add, like before, just add chests. Like so. I'll just open this up for now. And then on top, just add another row of chests. And I believe for the original build, I just added some lighting here, so it lit up from on the outside around here. So you can use whatever. This is just what I used. Okay. Now we just need to do what we did before with the rails and minecart. So just add some redstone blocks here, and then we need to add powered rail here, and then hoppers all the way across. And the rails. Then we need to add a block at the end, like so. I'm actually not sure if this needs to be faced in the other direction, or if a hopper can just add, so now it's facing the other direction. I'm not sure if that matters at all. Just in case it matters, I'll just place it there. So have one hopper go inside, and then have 2 here on each side. That's what I did. And then some campfires here on top. Okay, what we want to do is we want to go to the middle here of the entire the entire tower here. So to do that, just add, so I'll just start by doing it in the middle here. So we just add 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you add 3 here, and 3 here. Sorry, here. This one should be the middle of the entire tower. This should be the middle one. And from here, just add blocks all the way around this one. And basically the rest too, like so. Okay. So from here, we need to have the water spilling and like in this direction here. So what you can do is just add a row of blocks here, like so. And if you include this one here, just add, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. And just extend all of these up to this one, like so. And on the other side here, just add some glass. And you can just build this all the way up to, I mean, depends on how tall you want to make it. I just made it like so. Okay. And for the rest, you can just close this off. Like so. Okay. And here, just close this off for now. Now we need to put some water here. So I believe this should be enough. I don't think you need to do anything else, and just add the 3 here. So the thing is with these creeper farms is that you can make as many layers as you want to. So I created like layers all the way up. So I'm just going to show you one, and then you can just copy this all the way up or repeat this all the way up. So what you do here is so we have the square here in the middle. Just add, I'm just using another block so it's easy to kind of see. Just add this here all around, and then add, so I'm going to add 1 here, and then just do it like so. So you have, so in diagonally you have 1, 2, 3, and then including this one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just do the same over here. So just add it like so. Just fill this for now. So this is the main area that is inside. So the walls are on the outside of this. We need to do it on both sides. Okay, and let's just place the walls. So, I mean, you could just add another one. I'm just gonna show you what I did. I just added 2 walls here. And actually the reason why I did it this way, I can show you in a minute, but it's basically so I can see the kind of outline of each layer. So instead of just having one tower going all the way up, it's actually a way of kind of knowing where each of the farms are placed. This will make more sense when I'm done with it. Okay, and so here what you need to do is you need to add carpets. So and where you're gonna add them, you're gonna add them in the middle here, and then with a 2-block gap here, and 2-block gap, basically a 2-block gap between all of them, and same over here. And actually, just one more thing. We need to add walls here too. So for the middle part here, you need to add trapdoors, and as long as you add them like so, the creepers, they should just walk off by themselves and fall down here, or any mob really. And I think those are made, the carpets are placed here. I believe it's so spiders don't spawn. Then you need to place trapdoors on the underside here, on this block, just all the way over. Until you reach this, until you reach the hole in the middle, like so. And okay, so I mean, this is basically just one layer. You will close this off so it's in total darkness, but other than that, you're basically done here. And then the next layer would be added on top. So what you need to do for that one is basically just to create the exact same thing here on top. And then, so I'll just show you just the outline of it. So I mean, again, what I did here, I can just show you just real quick. What I did was I, instead of just connecting everything on the outside, I actually added the slabs here, and then added the next wall on top like so. But I mean, you can also just connect everything. I mean, if it works for you, that's fine. I'm just doing it now so it's easier to kind of show you where everything fits. And again, like below, just add the carpets I showed you earlier. And then the cat that you need for this farm needs to be placed on the middle one here. So for a farm like this, it needs to be placed at the end here, at the end here, and at the end here, and at the end here. And then basically everything else is the same. Just add the trapdoors like before, and continue the everything above. So again, you need a space of 2 minus the trapdoor, of course, but it's the same up here. And you can just continue all the way up. And then finally, what I did was to use the top as the kind of the point you kind of AFK. So for the original build, everything up here was spawn-proofed simply by adding 2 or more layers of snow. So yeah, it worked as an AFK spot. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking through this long series, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again in the next video. Bye, guys.
you.